Almost just about a year ago, I made a Minecraft Bedrock Edition clients tier list. I am going to be doing it again, and I've got a new selection of clients here. I will link this tier list down in the description. You can make your own one using this exact set of images, and if enough people do, then I'll make a video reviewing your guys' tier lists. We'll just start off at the beginning over here. I'm pretty sure this is Aries. I'm not sure if I ever used their logo at all. It says Solstice Skid, but it was the very first one. Really, it's not as much a skid as a continuation, although it doesn't really get updated anymore. B tier. Ambrosial.exe, also known as Zephyr Client, hasn't at all been relevant in the past year because it got discontinued. This is the only one that I couldn't find the place in my heart to leave this out. This is like the best client ever. It was the best client ever. Definite S tier. Apollo Client, one of the main reasons that 1.21.2 is still played so much. The client itself wasn't massive, but the amount of skids definitely was, which, like, the source code of this getting leaked caused so many skids, including ones that we'll get to in a second that actually did get updated a lot further. A tier. I'm pretty sure this is Aries Client. There's a few Aries clients, but this of course is the Minecraft Bedrock Edition one. It was around, then it wasn't, and I have no idea what the status is now. I think it got updated to 1.21.51, and then it got forgotten about again. C tier. Next up we have Boost and Boost V2. I made the Boost V2 logo myself, by the way, but I had to crop it a little because all the images here needed to be square. Boost is one of the many 1.20.51 lifeboat survival mode clients. It was one of the more popular ones, and so I guess I'll put it in B tier. Personally, I didn't use it a lot. Boost V2, there's like a million different versions of. The source code got leaked like 0 times officially, but at the same time like 500 times, and people started skidding it and whatever. Also, supposedly one of the old sources or leaks of this had a keylogger, but oh well. I prefer it over the original Boost. Put it right here. Horion Client. And whilst we're at it, I will grab Horion as well. People always ask me what's better, Horion or Horion. Well, it's really no competition. Horion was always the better one, and Horion was a skidded older version of Horion Client, mainly made just to update faster so people could have something to play with. Now, with that being said, Horion did also have quite a few unique features over Horion Client, which made some people prefer it in general. Now, although it did get discontinued earlier this year, I'm gonna look past that and still put it in A tier. Then for Horion, obviously, goated client, everyone loves this. Probably the most popular Minecraft Bedrock Edition client out there. Is it the best? I don't know, but it is the most solid. S tier. Now it feels like I woke up one day and people were asking me for Catgirl Client. And this was like actually one of the first clients I officially leaked myself. So that was pretty cool. But for the rest, the client isn't really that significant. I think it was skidded off of Prax, which we'll get to in like 12 clients. But for the rest, it wasn't really as massive as I thought it would be. Although actually, I think, yeah, the propeller pigeon guy, a friend of mine, actually made Catgirl Client merchandise. C tier anyways. Central Client right over here. I've got some people in my Discord advocating for Central Client. In the past year, Central hasn't done anything. I hope they revive it soon. For right now, it's a D tier. Arabus, man, what do I say? This isn't their official logo. They don't have one. I just nicked this YouTube thumbnail from, like, I think it was Draco. Arabus is a continuation of N-word client, but just like literally the N-word spelled out. Fun fact, the pigeon guy, the same one who made merchandise of Catgirl Client, uploaded a video on the N-word client, and it got removed, and then it actually got reinstated again, so it's up and you can watch that somehow. But this is a continuation. Really, it's just a Solstice skid. that I do think got updated past 1.21.44 a little. A C tier. Fine, a high C tier. Flariel is an incredibly popular legit client in the community, although I personally prefer another one. They actually released Flariel V2 recently. I mean, that definitely looked pretty nice. Flariel is an incredibly solid client. You can't go wrong with it. A tier. Also, they're always on top of the updates and stuff, and actually open source too. Frost client was one of the most important Apollo client skids, because although Apollo worked for 1.21.2, not 20, Frost actually updated all the way to 1.21.51 and was one of the few clients as high as that version when that version was the most recent one. So pretty cool. For the rest, it's completely insignificant now. C tier. Kion client is a Russian ghost client that is actually also paid. And the only reason why people on my channel will know about it, or unless they're Russian, is because they actually released a free version, which I covered, who's paying for Minecraft Bedrock clients, right? Now, because the client is mainly just Russian, the threshold to getting into it is quite high, but it's really an incredibly good ghost client. And not just the ghost client, it has so many features. It is external, but really it's pretty insane. I'll actually give it B tier. Kodiak, also a ghost client, also external. It definitely has less features than Kion. There is a paid version, except the free version of Kodiak has basically everything you would need in theory, and so Kodiak is really a pretty solid client. Struggling between A and B tier. I'll give it A tier, I guess. Next up is Latit client, which is Flariel's main competitor in terms of legit clients for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Latit is my personal favorite. I'm a Latit client glazer. I like it a lot. If I'm ever playing legit PvP on Minecraft Bedrock, I'll always be using Latit client. For me, this is a definite S tier. I like it a lot. They not so recently came out with Latit V2 that just looked amazing. Oh man, Lyra client. What do I say? These guys basically took advantage of the fact that Flariel was open source, and they skidded it. Now, contrary to most skids, this skid didn't really serve a purpose because Flariel was actively being developed and updating, and also they tried to hide the fact that it was a skid opposed to other skids. Also, it got removed completely, partially also because Flariel's owners called them out. D tier. Nitro client is an incredibly old, I think it's been around for a very long time. It's also an external ghost client for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. It has less features than Kodiak, but it is a pretty solid one, although it can be a little sketchy, I guess. If you really just want a bare bones ghost external client for Minecraft Bedrock, then you're good with this. I'm just gonna put it in B tier for now. Then we also have Odorso, which is kind of not really a new kid on the block, but they are relatively new. It's basically Bion client, but with all the hacks removed. So just like Flariel and Latit, it is a legit client for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. I would argue it's less good than both of these, although the features don't really show that. I just think the UI looks kind of ass. For the rest, you can't really go wrong with Odorso. I'll put this in B tier. Offenseware client, I made one video on these guys when they were basically just a blatant Solstice skid, and the only thing that's changed since then is their logo. The only reason I even included them is because I personally know the owner of this client quite well, actually, although I am pretty sure he got called out for being a pedophile recently. D tier. Next up is Onyx client, and now I'm not gonna lie, personally I'm quite uninformed about Onyx. I do think they're still developing the client, and it's a legit client for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. The only thing is they're paid, which means like I'm probably not going to use it, although I would actually be down to maybe make a video on them at some point. I've seen a little bit of it and it looks incredibly cool. Just the fact that they're paid throws me off. Oh well, you can't have everything, I guess. I'll just put this at a solid B tier. Orf client is a Solstice skid, but they're actually one of the most active ones. The development on the client is still active. They're working on bypasses and updating the client. Personally, I kind of like the small community, and I'll put this in B tier. Next up, Packet client. I do realize that last time I did this, I kind of moved packet down a little too much. Why? Well, because they're paid and I didn't want to pay for it. Packet is an incredibly good client, apart from the fact that they haven't updated to like the latest Minecraft version yet, but 3.1 got released. Personally, I'm not entirely sure how that is, but going off of Packet Client's reputation, I'll give these guys an incredibly solid A tier. If you're going to buy a client for Minecraft Bedrock, which I don't like really at all recommend, then get Packet, I guess. Prax Client came around last year and then they left again. They were like in the short time that they were around, they became an incredibly prominent client. They had pretty good bypasses. In general, just very good stuff. Only of course now they have been discontinued. One of the good things that we have still gotten from this though is that their source code did actually get published. Like if the client was still active, I would put this in A tier for sure, maybe even S tier, but I mean, it's kind of gone. I'll give it a C tier. Primordial is the real new kid on the block. They came around incredibly recently, but so far the client has been almost too good to believe. Not skidded somehow, or maybe they have used a base. Kind of looks like a Solstice based client, but they're updating incredibly fast to the latest Minecraft versions. The amount of features they have is just genuinely insane. I'm gonna put these at the highest A tier possible. I feel like the same thing here is gonna happen as with Prax. They're just gonna like despawn in a month. If that doesn't happen and they somehow stick around until next year, which who knows if I'm even still doing this then, definite S tier at that point. Riz client. This client, you may or may not know it, or you may know it and not know that you know it. Riz client was also formerly known as Skibbity client and as Redline client as well. I feel like they're using their funny name as their main selling point, which is fair enough because they honestly don't have a lot more than that to sell. No, okay, that was a little mean, but Riz client is just alright. They have quite a few features. Sadly, they're paid, which I don't necessarily really like. I'll give them a C tier for now. Although I do definitely think the client has potential, unlike Scold client. Now, I don't want to make people mad, but I feel like Scold just kind of popped up one day as a completely finished client, and apart from updating it to the newer Minecraft versions, like has not at all been touched since. I made one video on it just because I like to give you guys a representation of every single client out there. It's paid. I didn't mention that yet. It is definitely paid. It's also expensive. Like Riz client, these guys have like discounts very often, which I mean they need if they want people to buy it. But Scold client it's more expensive than Onyx. It's more expensive than Packet, than Kodiak, than Riz. For what you're paying for, you really don't get it. D tier. If you want to spend your money and buy a client, then don't buy this. Solstice client doesn't have an official logo, so I just wrote out the word Solstice and slapped a gradient over it. So this is what we ended up with. An incredibly good client, very good bypasses. It got officially updated a few times, and then after that the source code got leaked 1.5 million times and 12.5 billion skids emerged, which is fair enough. This was an incredibly good source to skid from. Like, if you're gonna skid, then do it from this. I even used this source for my skidding tutorial. If you want to watch that, it's in the description. Please don't watch it though. Anyways, since the source code is actually public, people have gone and continued to update this client, looking past the entire mess that it has become and just at the now latest version of the client itself, with all of these skillful skids who have actually contributed to that. You know what? I'm gonna give them an S tier. There's a random picture of Andrew Tate here. I'm not sure why that's there. D tier. Next up, Undisputed. Undisputed is once again an external ghost client for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. We've seen quite a few of these now, a few paid, a few free. Undisputed is paid, but it is relatively cheap. I'd say if you're going to buy a client for Minecraft Bedrock Edition, then get Undisputed. I've made quite a few videos on it. it's pretty solid. I'll give them an A tier. Ending off here with the 2 Vs. This one, for the ones of you who don't know, is Vanilla Client. I've never officially covered them because they've never released. I'm pretty sure they've been teasing to release their clients since 2017, and they still haven't. I mean, fuck these devs, bro. D tier. And finally, Vector. The Vector team haven't done much for us apart from skid a few times, provide the Vector client, which only ever worked for Minecraft Bedrock 1.20.30. That's basically where it ends. But they have actually leaked like 2 things, including a packet DLL in like 1.20.35 and the Apollo source code, so for that I'll give them C tier. So here's my final list. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm obviously aware that every decision I make is gonna piss at least one person off. Anyways, I will also link it down there, and obviously I'm gonna give it a heart reaction because I completely agree with my own list. Yeah, overall I'm kind of happy with how this turned out. Of course, once again, you can also remix this list yourself, save it to here. I can view them, and so can other people. Share them either in my Discord or just save them on this website, and if enough people do, then I'll go ahead and review them. Anyways, for right now, that was basically that. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I do of course hope to see you all again in the next one. Bye bye.